Hoppe Hour. I'm about to whip somebody's arm.
Now, from the Autoglass America studios, it's the Mike Calta After Show.
Oh, yeah. This is the Mike Calta After Show, Hoppe Hour, filling in. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. Call the show at 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. I am here with my dear friend, somebody that I've known before he became the radio legend here at 1025 The Bone, one of the most genuine guys I've ever met. And like I said today about the Calta Show, I love radio people that say it to your face. I hate nothing more than the pussies in the business who don't say it to your face and then are nice to your face but say it on air. So with Spencer Huffman, you, sir, are a legend.
Well, thank you.
You will go down as one of the greatest ever.
The problem is I never say anything mean that I can remember.
You have a little passive-aggressive critiques here and there. You're not exactly innocent, but you're not bad either. It's because you're from, like, the South. You're from North Carolina. You're from the mountains. Didn't you go to Appalachian?
Appalachian, thank you.
I always say it wrong. Yeah, so, like, you got a good heart going, man.
Well,
if I could compare your heart and I could compare your personality and being your friend, it's like being offered the best apple pie ever, and it's so like heartwarming to eat it, and every time you put that fork in that apple pie, man, it's so good.
Well, Mama did raise me right. I think thank you for such glowing words.
Oh, of course, my opinion means so much here. Hi, you're on the air. Oh jeez. Oh wow, that was the best call we've had all day on this show.
Actually, I think the greatest best call we had earlier was Logan, our first ever call from the surface of the moon. Thank you.
Yeah, that was
Logan.
very bizarre. And I love how he was laughing like it was our fault that his phone sucked.
I mean, hey.
I love people like that. So I'm going to be real with you, Tampa. I know 50% of people hate this. 50% of people love this. I'm trying to make this into something. I don't know if it's going to be in Tampa or what market, but I like to be transparent when I'm here. When I'm on air. I like to be real. I don't like to put on a persona. So there's nothing worse, and it's not in this building that I'm about to say. But Spencer, there's radio people that are so introverted off air, and then they go on air and they play this macho character, and they're not true to themselves. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So I'm going to be transparent. There's been panic attacks I've had recently. I've been crying here and there, but like the medicine I take and seeing my shrink and working out, everything's good. It's just here and there I'll cry for like 5 minutes during the day and then I'm good. But I'm very transparent about my mental health. And there's this alleged rumor that, so here's what happened. This is from the Shade Room on social media. Antonio Brown is saying that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offered him $200,000. Now, I'm very much just getting by in life. I don't like talking about money, but I'm getting by, barely. But if somebody offered me $200,000, I would be honored. And you're going to hear what he was offered about. And trust me, he's making a big deal out of it. AB is, because he's a macho guy, and football players can never, ever show their soft side. And they would rather just take the CTE to the grave and not, because like there's this whole attitude, oh, you're going to be macho. And then if you go and get your mental health checked, you're not being macho. So this goes in line with my rant.
Bucks try to make an agreement with me to give me $200,000 to go to the crazy house so these guys could look like they know what they're talking about. These guys are unprofessional.
Wait. They offered you $200,000 for what?
The offer was Antonio would basically sit on the sidelines, go on some list, and commit himself to some form of intensive mental health treatment.
So yeah, Antonio Brown is mad that the Buccaneers allegedly offered him $200,000 to improve his mental health, which makes absolutely no sense about why he's mad. And here's why. I believe that he was offered the $200,000, and this is just breaking, but here's the thing. I don't think, Spencer, they were going, Oh, we want you in there for 6 months. We want you Baker acted. We don't want to see you. We wanted to win another Super Bowl this year. And him being one of the greatest wide receivers ever and could have been better if he was more focused, I don't think they were like, hey, we're paying this guy all this money. We want him to like be in a mental hospital. I think it was they wanted him to see a shrink, maybe do some exercises for your brain. I don't think, Spencer, they were like, no. You're not playing the rest of the season and you're going to a loony bin for 6 months. You feel me?
Yeah, I think he may have interpreted it as being sent to the loony bin, but
like maybe it was the best shrink in the bay and you just have to go to, and I don't even like saying a loony bin. What's the proper word? Mental hospital? Because mental health gets such a bad attitude. Dudes are so afraid to talk about their mental health, yet everybody's seeing shrinks. You don't want to talk about being mentally ill because you don't want to come off as macho, when really it's more macho, and the word manly is dumb. And I'm not trying to be woke, but literally there's nothing better than a person that has good mental health. All the dudes who are so against mental health will have the best bodies ever. They will have the most perfect white teeth like Spencer's. They will be as good looking as Spencer. But then the thing is, their mental health is so atrocious that literally it ruins everything. You feel me? So like, I know, Spencer, you go through things. We all go through things. But they were saying on air that they could kind of tell you were in some sort of a mood. And I don't want to get into that because we know you were, and I'm in a mood too. Everyone's in a mood. We're in the middle of a pandemic 2 years in. But Spencer, what I want to ask you is, what is it like for you each day? Because a person that says they don't have mental health issues is lying. So for you, how do you cope?
I mean, I've been dealing with it so long that I'm just kind of pretty much numb to it. Which sounds really depressing, but you know, it's just, it's eventually, it's just one of those things that you kind of learn to cope with. You figure out what behaviors that you have to kind of talk yourself out of and what behaviors help you kind of deal with it. You know, I always try to get outside and get a little sunshine because that always helps me. That's why I think the winter's bad for me, because it's a season where you get a lot more clouds. It's darker earlier. I don't get the chance to get as much vitamin D as I would normally like to have.
So I want to ask you before I get into this, what is your take on Pete Davidson? Because every Gen Xer hates him because he's banged every hot girl, and a lot of millennials are annoyed by his success and just how he looks. I personally can relate to him because I lost my father in a traumatic accident, and I'm dating a hot-ass girlfriend that a lot of people can't believe I have, and he's had that his whole life, dating each girl. So I'm a huge fan of Pete Davidson. He would probably not like me saying this, but I see a lot of me in him. So because I both got a job in the media business at 21. He's on SNL. I was in Cleveland. Now I'm here. So I see a lot of like me and him. He's a very anxious guy. He takes meds. I'm about to play a news clip where he talks about his mental health. But would you say you're a Pete Davidson fan, or do you fall into the category of being a hater?
I mean, I think everybody goes through their own struggle. We stumble, but as long as we're trying to improve ourselves, I think that's admirable.
So this is a 30-second TikTok that I found about 2 months ago, and it's a whole interview, Charlamagne the God, one of the best in the business, interviewing Pete Davidson, and the whole interview is on YouTube. But when I tell you that this 35-second clip represents how I feel each day, even when I'm having sex with my hot girlfriend, and I'm just saying the greatest things in my life, even when I'm eating pizza, even like everything that makes me happy, I feel this way. And to me, I just think Pete Davidson was beautiful about it. And if you want to be anonymous and want to talk about how you're feeling, and we won't talk about this forever unless we get calls, 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Here is Charlamagne. This is a 35-second clip. So I know all the Pete Davidson haters don't touch the radio dial. How dare you play him on air? All right, here's Pete Davidson.
How often do you still battle with depression?
Oh, I'm always depressed all the time. I have to constantly bring myself out of it. Like I wake up depressed, but like I'm like, okay, now I know my steps, because like you learn from the real. Like now I have to go outside and be in the sun for a little bit, or go for a walk, or like start the day this way. It's all just programming yourself to trick your brain, you know.
Were you ever suicidal?
Yeah, all the time. But I can't, because I got a mom and a sister and like a family. So like I've always been suicidal, but I've never had like the balls, you know?
So I don't fall into the suicidal part, Spencer, but everything he said about programming your brain and waking up, like I never related to a TikTok more, which is a sentence I never thought I would say, but TikTok is a great platform.
Well, he really hit the nail on the head. I think something that a lot of people who don't suffer from it don't realize is that, you know, like you said, eating pizza, having sex, all those things that we love, depression is still kind of there. It's sort of like a blanket that lays over everything you do.
What I was saying is you can have everything. Like, I love every second of my life. I love my life. There's obviously things I'd want to improve. There's things I want to work on, but I've never loved my life more. But I try to be humble about it and not post as much on social media. And my friend, who was like my on and off friend growing up, who would give me into underage drinking parties and we would hang out allegedly. But like I was like interning with the cool kids where I kind of fit in like later on. But now they're all hitting me up and they're proud of me for what I do in radio. And like, he was like, dude, you look so happy. You're killing it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, social media really hides the mask, because I'm happy enough. But I'm like, wow, he's thinking I'm just glowing ear to ear and I don't have my own hardships or problems. It's absolutely fascinating, Spencer, what the beautiful teeth and smile and grin we have and how pretty our eyes are on our face. And I'm being sincere about this. It is insane how easy it is to mask depression just by being funny. All right, we have a call here from the 270.
Well, they say comedy comes from pain.
Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, I just wanted to call and let you know that I suffered mental illness for 26 years, basically, and it was passed down to my family. And my new wife gave me an ultimatum to seek help or to.
My girlfriend kind of did the same thing, bro, because I was like, it was after I had a mentor here, Sean Sorilli. A lot of people never believed in Hoppe Hour, but Sean was also known as Reezy, and he was a production director here. And then he went to Denver, and then he passed away of COVID. And that was in August, and I cried so hard, and I was depressed through probably October. And then when both my workout trainer and my girlfriend and Mike O are kind of like, why are you so depressed? That's when I worked on it, because like, you're never going to truly get rid of the pain, but you really, if you go to therapy, like AB needs, and if you really work on it, bro, like there's ways to make it better. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. Yes. And really, Prozac saved my life. It really did. My anxiety was through the roof, and I couldn't leave the house without hiding my stuff. And I'd hide it, and I would, I'd forget where I put it. And then, of course, I had like 3 locks on the house. I mean, it was crazy. I was absolutely nuts.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is your imagination is so crazy. Because what I realized recently is if the human brain could take all the negative thoughts it has about itself, you could literally write a book, because all the thoughts you have in your head really don't exist. Like, they exist, but it's not true. And then the one thing that's really been hitting me recently, because I'm an only child. I'm a raging narcissist with a huge heart, but I'm very self-centered. And I realize that nobody's thinking about me unless they hear me on the radio. And then they go to their 9 to 5. There's nothing better than to realize that you're not going to think about me later. I'm not going to think about you. I appreciate your call, sir, but like, nobody cares. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Well, what's your name again?
My name is Josh.
Thank you for the call, Josh. I think it's very noble that a man, and it doesn't matter what gender, but it does here. It's awesome to hear a man call a radio show and talk about that, because I just really don't respect people that don't want to look into it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. All right, but thank you, Hoppe.
Thank you, sir.
Hang in there, Josh. Good to hear from you.
Hi, you're on the air. Who's this?
Hi, this is Bill.
What's happening, Bill?
Hey, I just, I really appreciate you bringing up this subject, because it's really close to me. I'm 41 years old, and I found myself at 18 years old in Afghanistan in 2001, followed up by Iraq. And when I got out, I just turned to alcohol and booze and constantly depressed, never knew what was going on. I grew up with a real prick of a father. You shed a tear, you got your ass beat. So I played that manly card, didn't think anything was wrong with me until recently. I was diagnosed with PTSD, and not the alcohol and the drugs were self-inflicted, but the depression that kind of went with it, I didn't understand it until I was diagnosed and had counseling. But I was one of those guys that when people talked about mental disabilities, stuff like that, I just thought they were a big P.
Yeah.
And it took me 20 years to realize, it's a disease. It really sucks to live with. And, it took me a long time to talk about it. And just now that it's being talked about on the radio, I don't feel so alone.
Yeah. And the thing too is I can relate to you because my grandpa was a 3-time Purple Heart recipient in World War II. I had Spencer's mic on for a reason, on accident. My grandpa was a 3-time Purple Heart recipient in World War II, and he drank his whole life, didn't appreciate my grandma until she died, and then pretty much died alone. And that was because he was cruel to everybody but me because I was his grandson. And I think it's so awesome that you were able to look into it because you get one life, and if you literally spend it and then during your phase of your life where you have regrets, that's when you realize you needed to get help. I don't ever want to be that person.
Yeah, as many people as you can reach and keep this subject going, it's really appreciated.
I have no idea.
You do a great job, Hoppy. I love hearing you on air.
Thank you, sir. I have no idea where this came from. Probably my panic attacks. Hi, you're on the air.
Hello, am I on the air?
Yeah, what's happening? Is this Domas?
It is.
What's happening, bro?
Thank you. Great show. I just wanted to share something that, I feel like I struggle with the same things as Pete Davidson and lots of other folks.
Yeah.
And I wanted to share something that I've, came up with on my own. And if it can help one person, I wanted to share it.
Please.
And basically, when you get up every day and you're struggling, what I do is I imagine my Christmas tree. Because when you're putting up your Christmas tree every year, you want to put the best and prettiest ornaments on it every year. And then on top of that tree, you want to put your star or your angel.
Yeah.
So if you look at your life like that and the thoughts in your head and the things that you're going through, you realize every day you want that tree to be magnificent. So as you're putting up ornaments of your friends, your family, all the good things in your life. You're not trying to make an ugly tree. You're not trying to put things that bother you on that tree, right?
No,
so
not
it helps you to rearrange those thoughts in your head to just keep putting the positive things into your life, and to keep adding them to your tree, and to always remember that you are that star or that angel on top of that tree. And I just felt like that was something that I taught myself that was incredibly helpful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. I didn't want to let him go, but we got 2 minutes left, and I want to get to this last call. Hi, you're on the air. 30 seconds. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Hoppy? Real quick, brother.
What up?
I'm glad you brought this topic up. Men are taught from an early age to keep your feelings in a capsule. Don't talk to anybody. Don't cry. You don't have any problems. Bump all that. Make sure you talk to your best friend who's next to you. And if you can't do that, talk to a professional. It's not a joke. Don't push it off. It can ruin your life.
Awesome, bro. Thank you. Spencer,
Hoppy.
Didn't I tell you before this segment that time always flies when you're doing the after show? Didn't I
does.
specify that to you?
Yes,
we
you
got
did.
2 minutes left.
Very clearly. 2 minutes.
Me speaking very clearly, I would love to have that day. Spencer, where can people find your work?
You can find me on all social media at Huffman Spence.
That's
all
it?
platforms. Yeah.
What about your voiceover on SoundCloud?
Oh God, I'm working on it.
All right.
I'll get you next time.
Sounds good. On every single major platform, Spotify, TuneIn, Spreaker, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. Search up Hoppe Radio, HOPPE Radio. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Up next is Roger and JP with Monica. Then it's Drew Garabo Live with John Senning. Then it is The Cat Named Mo Show with Gareth and Spike. Then it is Johnny B and Will. And then tomorrow and Sunday, I will be here producing the best talk radio in all of radio. Spencer, I'm not just saying that too, because there's a lot of garbage radio out there, but I take pride in the radio I produce on the weekend because it's very good.
It is very good. You do a good job, Hoppy.
Oh, I know. Thank you.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour. It's the Mike Calta After Show on 102.5 The Bone.